And could you give us a little bit on the history? SolarAid's been in the solar business, bringing solar to the developing world for years. We keep seeing new companies pop into this space. Could you speak a little bit about your history, what inspired SolarAid, where it originated?
So SolarAid was born out of the solar sector, and it was the vision of our chairman, Jeremy Leggett, who set up a company called Solar Century. And in doing so, he said, when we make our first profits, we're going to give them to a charity, a non-profit. And that happened in 2006, and it was 5% of their profits. And they couldn't find a cause that would deliver what they wanted to do, to share solar around the world. And so they created one, and SolarAid was born. And to this day, Solar Century give us 5% of their profits.
Wow. So who are your target customers? Who are you serving exactly?
So 9 out of 10 of Sunny Money's customers live on less than $1.25 a day. So you're talking about people who live on or below the poverty line. And a solar light can make a huge difference from the savings they make from not buying kerosene. We estimate they save $70 a year. And we've learned that the savings that they use on education, farming or business inputs, or just better diet. And so you can see it already starts to have a big impact on people's lives.
What impact have you had now? This is several years of being a leader in this space. What impact have you had in terms of numbers of people you've delivered products to, etc.?
So last week we hit 1.5 million solar lights, and we think that's pretty close on reaching 9 million people. But what is extraordinary is that we now know the impact of those solar lights. Now, a single solar light leads to an hour's extra study for children, and that's over the course of 3 years, will be 1,200 hours study. It leads to considerable savings because families don't have to buy kerosene. Typically £70 over the course of 3 years, and if you accumulate that saving, that's considerable in what families can buy. And it also averts carbon emissions. Each solar lamp leads to 1/2 ton of carbon emissions being averted. If you accumulate that up to 1.5 million, you can start to imagine the impact that we're having.
And what countries are you serving right now?
So SolarAid is operating in Kenya, Tanzania. We've just started in Uganda, and we also work in Malawi and Zambia, and we hope to work in Rwanda and possibly restart in Senegal later this year.
And where do you think you'll be in? Where do you think SolarAid will be in 5 years, 10 years? How many systems delivered?
Oh, okay, so we set a goal at the start of this decade. In 2011, we said we would eradicate the kerosene lamp from Africa by the end of the decade, and that's still our vision and goal. And we know we can't do it alone, but we know to do that means 100 million plus solar lights shining in Africa. So our vision is maybe through our social enterprise Sunny Money, could they do 20 million of those, and could we teach others, could we share our learning so we can reach that 100 million plus threshold, and we can place the kerosene lamp in a museum cabinet and put it away there for good.
Well, congratulations on being a finalist in this prestigious prize. Maybe you'll win next year.
Maybe. I think we're going to keep thinking about what would be a great story to share, and what's the next milestone for us to achieve. And it's really inspiring actually meeting the other finalists and seeing what they're doing.
Yeah, I've been covering it for 7-8 months, very closely the finalists, and I was thinking I would hate to be on the jury because it's just really hard to choose. I mean, they're all amazing, so it must have been close, I think. But